Hey replay viewers, thanks for watching. Be sure to check me out on YouTube, Penguin6. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We're all over the place. It is Friday, 11:45, and you're here in Hong Kong with me. And I had a $20 hamburger yesterday. $28 US for hamburger fries and a soda. My buddy's asking me a WhatsApp question, but I can't get it. Oh well, we'll get Gene's question later. I hear a helicopter somewhere down there, one of the heliports. Yeah, if you look at my YouTube channel, Penguin6, you can watch me eat that burger. No, I'm going to go to the fancy McDonald's on Monday. That's only about $10 US. Let's kind of move up. So guys, I'm Penguin6. I show you around Hong Kong every day. And every day starts up here at the peak. It's a little smoggy today, not that bad. Why is the fancy one cheaper? It was served with a better quality beef and a fancier joint. I don't know. McDonald's just knows how to make a cheap hamburger, I guess. So the view is coming again in about 10 seconds. So just hang with me while I get up to this observation deck. This is the end of my uphill for the day. I've been walking uphill for half a kilometer now. And I get to reach the peak, the apex. And we can start to go downhill. Whew. So if you watched earlier, we flew the drone over here. We were flying the drone from a higher point over the city. Hope you guys got a good view from that Periscope broadcast earlier today. You are in Hong Kong, in the People's Republic of China. What the heck is going on? Screen's getting dark. It's really sunny out. I must have screen brightness turned on or something. Hello. So I think today we're going to do fish and chips. I think fish and chips are in order today, being Friday. Hey, Brian. Yeah, we'll go to Matthew's, but it's going to be a little bit later. I'm about an hour from home, and I need to shower, clean up. I actually have a business meeting this afternoon at 3:30, and I have to buy a soccer ball. That's my other assignment for my kids' soccer annual dinner event. I do have some dad stuff to do today. Hello, we're in the jungle now. Heading back to the peak, then down to our house. We actually have 3 phones, a drone, and 2 battery packs with us today, and a tripod. So we're pretty much loaded for video blogging today. So did you guys catch the drone? Excuse me. Yeah. No, I've already hiked down from the true peak down to this level, and now I'm walking back to the gallery. Then I'll walk down home. You can't really see the buildings, I'm sorry. We'll see them in about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll see them again. But we're in some thick jungle right now. But occasionally they pop up in between the breaks in the trees. But generally, we don't get that incredible view. So when we get to the Peak Galleria, we'll be able to see all the buildings again. And we'll get a couple glances on the way down over the next 45 minutes it takes me to get to my house. So if you caught my new video blog, hey, how's it going? My new video blog was up this morning that had footage from the Samsung S3 motion capture watch that I was wearing yesterday. That was kind of wild. I don't know if it was the watch that was doing it or something else that was doing it. Also saw my dinner last night, which was French toast. Kids had pancakes, I had French toast. My shoe is still squeaking though. Been complaining about my shoes for a couple days now. Yesterday was okay because I wore my other shoes, but today I'm back to the squeaky pair. Don't know what he was up to. I think he was a photographer. That would look like a camera bag, a professional camera bag. There's some buildings. One little gap. Doesn't last very long though. There's another gap coming up. And then we'll be at the tower. Yeah, I'm going to be late for Matthew's. In fact, I might go even later just to avoid all the lunchtime crowd. So maybe I'll go around 2 or something. I'd go get my soccer ball first. Thinking of taking the subway. What do you guys want me to do? Subway or Star Ferry? Maybe we'll do the ferry over and take the subway back. No, not really that dirty. Saw more rats when I lived in New York than I do here. Then again, I did see more wild pigs here than I did in New York. It's actually kind of warm today. It's like in the 80s, so it's probably what, 28 Celsius, probably going up to like 30 Celsius today. Bit warm, bit humid. Hey Ham, welcome to Periscope. Welcome to Hong Kong, where we're on a hike around the peak, making our way back to central Hong Kong. 90% humidity? Yeah, probably. That's what it feels like. So generally I weigh myself before I go on the hike, then I take the hike and weigh myself after going on the hike. And if I don't drink any water, I lose somewhere between 1 to 2 pounds from the humidity in the hike. It's all water weight, of course, but it does take a bit out of you. Oh, lots of people. Hey. I'm doing all right. Those were tourists, yeah. Kind of on another planet. Probably American tourists, and they're just like, my God, we've had to walk 200 yards. When will this end? How many miles were I actually haven't really walked very far today. This is a 3.2 kilometer loop. So I'm almost done with about 3 kilometers. So what's that, about a mile and a half? I am an American, yeah. So I can make fun of us. I can make fun of Americans. Almost back. My half plus 7 rule is 32. That means I can only date women 32 years old or older and have it be socially acceptable. So crack out your algebra. Half plus 7, 32. And you can compute my age. That said, I do have a wife, so no need to date 32-year-olds, though Scarlett Johansson is 32. So technically, in the social norms, I could date Scarlett Johansson. No, I'm happily married. Half plus 7. Take your age, divide it in half, and add 7. And that will compute the socially acceptable age for you to date. So if you're 30 years old, divide by 2, that's 15, add 7.
Let's go.
A 30-year-old can date a 22-year-old and have it just be on the edge of social acceptability. But a 30-year-old cannot date an 18-year-old. That would be, well, robbing the cradle. So a 40-year-old could date a 27-year-old, and so forth. Half plus 7. It's sort of the back of an envelope calculation, but it is remarkably accurate. You know, I think most people, except those in Hollywood where they date 18-year-olds no matter how old they are, would kind of agree with the half plus 7 rule. So a 60-year-old man could date a 37-year-old woman, or vice versa. I think it's both ways, yeah. I think it even applies to the new First Lady of France. Though she's, I think, a little bit under that. So basically an 18-year-old could date a 16-year-old, which means a senior in high school could date a sophomore. But for a senior in high school to date a freshman, well, you know, that's just a little bit too much, yeah? It's not that windy. You're 6 years older than your husband. Oh, okay. Well, what's she? She's like 30 years older than her husband? 28 years older than her husband? Something like that. She fell in love with him when he was 15. She was a teacher. A little bit freaky. Oh, God. So I was standing up at the peak flying the drone for about a half hour in the sun. I am a tad warm. "28 years older, yeah." So he's what, 39? She's 65 or something, 37? I don't know how old he is. If 30, no, it's Doesn't make problem. If you're 30 years older than your wife, then that's a little bit of a problem, I think. The social acceptability thing. God, this grass has gotten high. So this is where I usually fly the drone, but the grass has gotten so high, I'm a little hesitant about doing it because when the grass gets high, it hides snakes. So we sort of have not been over here in a bit. I should file a complaint. The grass is too high. Not to mow it. The DJI bag is okay. It's in use right now. I will say that the official bag that's carrying the drone has this little like strap doohickey that digs into my shoulder blade, which is not very pleasant. The tram's coming. Yep, I live right there in that building. No, that building. I live in that building. So we're going to walk down there now. It's going to take about a half hour, 45 minutes. Truth be told, I didn't want to walk today, but I don't want to walk a lot of days. But I do. I just go and do it. It's part of my habit, my routine. Reasonably priced. Define reasonable. I mean, my definition of reasonable is a bit higher than in most, whatever. I mean, for under $100 a night, is that what you want? How big? I mean, you could look at the Garden View Hotel. It's kind of cheap. Has a nice view. It's small. But, I mean, it's moderate. I think it's like $80 US a night. Under 150 a night. Well, okay, so a little bit more. Well, it depends. You could stay at the Marriott. There's a Sheraton in TST. Jim Shashway. What else could be 150 a night? There's the Park Lane. Yeah, the Park Lane Hotel, but I don't know if that... They just remodeled. It's a Pullman hotel. And I think it's gone up. It's in Causeway Bay. But $150 a night, you're not going to go wrong. You'll find something easily, to be honest. It's just a matter of what neighborhood you want to stay in, yeah? It depends on how you want to do it. I mean, Hong Kong Island is pretty easy to stay in, but Kowloon is more authentic feeling. Though a lot of the stuff you want to see will be on the island. It's about $1 US to take the subway across to the Kowloon to the island. On the subway. Depends what kind of trip you want to see. I mean, if you want to go local, go to the Langham Place Hotel, which is in Bangkok. I mean, it's a very nice hotel, but it's right in the heart of Bangkok, Hong Kong. It's like red light district and noise and stuff and all that. Oh, geez. Discovery Bay. No, Discovery Bay is a residential community. It is only accessible by ferry. It is not a place you would like to stay on a vacation unless you're looking for like a get away from everything. I am walking. I do have a car, but I never drive it. I only drive it to like my son's soccer games and stuff. So I only drive like 2 or 3 times a week. Much easier to walk. 550,000 private cars in Hong Kong with 7.3 million people. No skyscrapers. What are you talking about? They're all right over there. We'll see them again. We're going to a house in about 5 minutes. We're going to see the $193 million house. It's Jack Ma's Hong Kong mansion. Cost $193 million American dollars and has a breathtaking view of the city. There are a ton of skyscrapers to my left, but right now there's also a giant jungle to my left, so you can't really see them at the moment. But we have more skyscrapers here than New York. Yeah, there were some banana trees. My vlog yesterday or 2 days ago, we actually came across some wild bananas growing in the jungle. Chungking Mansions is still around and still sketchy. This cab wants to go where I'm going. Yeah. there first. Bicycle is fun, except Hong Kong is on a mountain. Hong Kong is built on the side of a very, very steep mountain. And the roads are incredibly narrow. In fact, this is a wide road. And riding a bicycle is not only difficult, but dangerous. Probably every so often someone gets killed. Someone goes out on a bike ride and gets slammed. Some banker, tourist, or something. So biking is not really recommended in Hong Kong. There are places to ride out in the new territories. There are bike trails and actually quite convenient, but here, no. We do have exercise bikes, we have treadmills, we got stair steppers, we've got weights, we got free weights, we got machines, but most people just do the cardio. I have a clone. Someone replicated my screen name. Interesting. Where? In the chat? Interesting. He was above the sky with a drone. I was just in it. Maybe he's just re-showing my my drone. Showed up on my feed with your screen name. Well, I was just doing a drone. I did a drone broadcast earlier today. You sure you're not seeing? Sure, maybe it's like a later notification of my earlier drone broadcast. I don't even know what the title was of my last one. I'm heading home. This is the walk to my house. It just showed up on your screen. It could have been the broadcast from earlier today and the notifications were off. I will say that this broadcast has a very low viewer numbers, such that I thought the notifications were not up. Hey, Mao Shan, you're over that way, yeah? Here we are on the peak, on Barker Road. The screen name was different. Oh. Maybe it was somebody just rebroadcasting my contest. Take a screenshot of it if you see it and send it over by Twitter, Penguin6, and I'll bring it up with Periscope's headquarters. Yeah, I don't think people got notified because I only had like 20 people to start. Usually I go up to like 50 or 70 or even more if I get some Twitter. Yesterday Periscope retweeted my tweet, so I got like 100 viewers. But the numbers have been down. I mean, I used to average 200, 300 broadcast live at the same time, and now I think Periscope should do an update of the app and re-enable notifications for everyone. Suddenly you'll have like 10 million users again. Hey, Mexico, siesta time. So we're coming up to the $193 million house. That's American dollars. They've started construction work here. But I think most of these guys are just here getting ready for the construction, putting up like the scaffoldings and whatnot. You got a notification? Cool. Some people did, some didn't, I think. Some drama. Well, my life's pretty boring, yeah? That or I just point the camera at pretty girls. That always gets a lot of people to come into my scope. Oh wow, the door's open. You can actually see in the house. This is my car, actually. I have this same model, Nissan Elgrand, except mine's a lot cleaner than that. Okay, you wanted to see the buildings. Purple flower time. We saw that YouTuber who was pranking their kids. They just had their kids taken away from them by child services. Some YouTuber was doing these prank videos where they would prank their children. And psychologist stepped in and said, hey, you're way over the line. This is child abuse. And CPS stepped in and took their kids away. To get views, to get hits on YouTube, they'd pull pranks on their kids. They'd blame them for things that wasn't their fault. And then be like, psych, fooled you, ha ha ha. The kids would be in tears. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Pretty messed up family. Well, I'll tell you what, after driving cross country with my kids this summer, I might be that same way. Yeah, I don't know what it's nasty. They did pranks until the point the children were crying and upset. Yeah, well, the Child and Protective Services didn't think so. Not biking, walking. Fast boats, he put you through torture. It's a nice view. If you have 100 million, you can buy that house. The other one's 70 million. But if you have $65,000 US per month, you can rent that townhouse and have that view. I think it was intentional infliction of emotional distress, which is actually a tort, if I remember my case law. Yeah, it's a little pricey. Oh, I like this drone, but this strap is kind of a pain in the butt, especially how it digs into my shoulder. Ah. That's how we're adjusting this strap. Ah. That's a little better. Oh, there goes the microphone. I'd be shot by an army of ninjas. A backpack, the thing about, I actually have hiked with a backpack, but it's like wearing a blanket on your back, and it's pretty hot and humid. So when I get home, it's just like, I'm soaking, drenched wet. Locals don't care about Korea. They don't. It doesn't affect us. Unless you can make money off of it. Oh, they would do stuff like, they spilled like ink on the carpet, and then they blamed the kids for doing it and say they were going to take away all their toys or something like that, and the kids were like, I didn't do it, you know, and they just did all these mean pranks, and they were definitely over the line. Heck, I showed my kid about a 3-minute snippet of Doctor Who last night, and he had nightmares. I really don't know how the jazz scene is in Hong Kong. I'm going home. I'm going down Chatham Path, the Central Green Trail. There was a YouTube family that was pranking their children for views, and Child and Protective Services came and took them along. I live in Hong Kong. You know how many mothers have their kids? All of them. I'm visiting. I live here. This is my home. I've lived here 7 years. It's kind of lush. Tomorrow my son has a soccer game out by the airport at 8:30 in the morning. It's a half-hour drive to get out there. The kids hit each other. Easy adjustment to live here, of course. This is the most Americanized, westernized city I've ever been to overseas. Living here is like, well, living in Chinatown in the United States. It's not a very difficult adjustment. In fact, it doesn't really feel like a foreign country at times. It just feels like this. I live in a bubble, though. I live in the expat bubble, the international banking and finance bubble. And, so, my kids go to an American school. My son goes to American Cub Scouts. We have American, European food. We watch international TV. It's just, we go to restaurants where everybody knows our name, speaks English. I mean, everybody speaks English. And so it's just like living in the United States. It's not really that different. I mean, sure, you walk around, there's lots of Chinese stuff, and there's Chinese restaurants everywhere, and there's ducks hanging in the window, and people speaking different languages, but you just do your thing, And my sons do speak Chinese. My wife was assigned here, and I followed my wife here. So she works for a bank. It's very global. I mean, my kids have a Rolodex that stretches the world. They have friends in Geneva and Manila and New York and California and Tokyo and London. Their summer vacation. What I did on my summer vacation is the most insane thing I've ever seen in my son's school. Oh, this year we did the south of France, followed by a trip to Zimbabwe, or Zambia, where we went on a safari, and then we flew to Fiji for a few weeks so Dad can decompress, and then spent the rest of the time whitewater rafting in Colorado. It's just like a lot of the turn left crowd on the airplane, as I say to you guys. No, I don't prank my kids. I don't really specifically aim to put my kids on YouTube. Sometimes, though, I'm with, and they just end up on it. Like last night, we went to get pancakes, and the kids were pancakes. I have not lived all those places, no. The kids in my son's school have traveled to all those places. They travel there every summer. Last year, we did the south of France and Paris and Amsterdam. But this year, we're going to go back to the United States. We're going to drive from San Francisco to New York. Should be pretty cool. Well, I just found out T-Mobile doesn't have service through much of the mountains west. Do I miss home? This is my home. Do I miss America? Yeah, I miss some things about America. I miss clean, cool autumn nights, crisp air, football weather, if you know what I mean, if you're from the Midwest. I miss wearing a sweatshirt. Never have time to wear a sweatshirt here. It's never that cold. I miss Target. I know it's silly, but I miss going to one shop and getting everything I need for the week. I miss Amazon Prime. I miss barbecue and Mexican food. He was looking for a lizard. I'm not retired. My kids do have an interesting life. There's not enough. It's interesting though. Once you start to travel, you realize that there are things done differently around the world, and some of those things are done better and some are done worse. Like octopus cards here in Hong Kong are better than Apple Pay in the US. Well, Verizon is CDMA. AT&T has a rather low bandwidth. I mean, it's like 6 gigabytes a month or something. We do have 4 seasons here. I'm thinking of getting a MiFi, 20 gigabyte MiFi, and then getting different things for the car. We don't really have Amazon. T-Mobile doesn't really work here in Asia. I mean, T-Mobile roams here in Asia. It's free roaming, basically. Yeah, but we got burritos in America. And we got Jimmy John's. We got Dairy Queen. We got ice cream treats. I don't know what is it. Man, probably a snack. It's not really dinner time. I saw a lizard earlier today too. MiFi is a pocket Wi-Fi device. So you get like 20 gigabytes of data. So we'll throw a MiFi in the car so we can have, I think we're going to take the Amazon Alexa Echo in the car just to entertain ourselves. This is my backyard. Yeah, we can tether, but you know, for driving, tethering is kind of complicated. Alexa in the car would be interesting, yeah. Hey Brenda, how you doing? Did you catch the drone earlier today, Brenda? We just flew the drone up on the peak. It was kind of fun. Though in the US, I won't be able to fly the drone at the national parks. There's a lot of anti-drone laws in the US. Well, we got some of it saved for the YouTube. Some of it was out of focus. I'm actually not walking that fast. I'm walking downhill. I usually walk faster when I'm on the treadmill, but when I'm periscoping, I have to walk a bit slower. I have family in the US, yes. I have no idea what the car is going to have. Assume it's going to have a cigarette lighter. If it doesn't have a cigarette lighter, then I'm really screwed. We have a house in the US, yeah. OnStar with built-in Wi-Fi. Oh, interesting. I didn't know they had that. Probably cost a load of money, though. I don't know how fast it would be. Miles an hour, maybe. I don't know if the Alexa runs off USB or not. I have to check on what the Alexa needs. I could get an inverter somewhere. I don't smoke for phone charging. It is lunchtime and I'm actually kind of hungry, but it's 12:30. Temperature is about 83, 84 maybe. I don't know. I'm in the shade, so I can't really assess. Probably 80. Power is 220 over here. We're British. We're the British system, 220. British plugs too, those big, bulky British plugs that suck. I mean, they're good, they don't fall out, but they're just way too big. They need to be upgraded. I've seen some universal power sockets that can handle everything from an American 3-prong to a European 2-prong to a British 3-prong. Those are pretty cool. That's the other thing, is 50 cycle and 60 cycle. I don't know what we are. What's the US? The US is 60, and I think we're 50. Or whatever England is, yeah? Indian Covenant. I didn't want to skip that one. That messes up motors. I actually regard different electricity systems as a barrier to entry. I think they should just standardize around the world. That would be much cooler if the entire world agreed on a universal power supply. I rent, it's too expensive to own. To buy my property is $4 million US. I'd have to put 40% down, so what's that, 1.6 million down, and then my mortgage would be about 12,000 US dollars a month. It's 12,000 US a month. So renting is actually a bit cheaper, but on a monthly basis and on an overall basis. USB is the same, yeah. We're 220 volt here. 220 volt in Hong Kong. We do have tropical birds here actually, but a lot of them are introduced species. Like in this area, we actually have a lot of cockatoos, but they were war refugees from the British zoo that was released when the Japanese invaded. Yeah, China does have some messed up cell standards. Rent is a bit high. The average family in my son's international school spends $11,500 US a month. 11,500 US per month in rent. That's the average family. Some are much higher, some are a bit lower. I'm on the lower scale. There's a cop car over there. It's pretty rare we see cop cars. My rent is about, what did we say it was now? I did the conversions, 8,200 a month. So 8,200 US per month. Kids are fine, they're at school. It's Friday, they're excited to come home and have a party. So what's that? Yeah, it's like $96,000, $98,000 a year or something like that. My son's best friend, their family pays $31,000 or $32,000 US a month in rent. $1,500, you can actually get a one-room studio in like Kowloon. Jonathan J.K. spends $1,000 a month, and he lives in a walk-up, a 6-story walk-up in Kowloon, I think. Oh, there's a police car. It's very rare we see actual police cars here in Hong Kong. We see policemen, but we don't actually see squad cars. I don't know what they're doing. He's probably lost. Yeah, my rent went up a little bit. I just heard a cockatoo. Hey, yeah, we got to keep that landscape. Ooh, landscape. We're in the mid-levels here, looking back up to the peak. We just walked down from up there. That's why we're so tired. And there's lots of cockatoos today in the trees. Hope you're doing well, Kayvon. Be in San Francisco soon myself, actually. I'll be coming back to my niece's graduation from med school in Palo Alto. So I'm going to be in California. It's probably in June. I'll send a note to some of your guys, maybe Tyler, and let him know I'm around. Maybe I can come over for coffee or lunch or something. Should be fun. Yeah, it will. No, I live here. It's my home. Privet Russia, welcome to Hong Kong. Yeah, it would be cool to meet up. So this place here is $25,000 US a month. 25,000 US per month for a 3-bedroom. But it's not the most expensive place. There's another place over here is $33,000. Yeah, my niece is going to be a doctor. Kind of scary. I used to buy her Barbie dolls, and now she's like operating on people. She's very smart. So she got into Stanford Med, so then her sister decided to go to Harvard. So then she got a Gates scholarship to go to Cambridge for a year. And then they have a slacker brother who's at Duke. So my kids have got some real academic pressure from their cousins. Why is it so expensive in Hong Kong? Well, there's not a lot of land. Yeah, about 75% of Hong Kong is jungle and reserved for jungle. So the area that's available to be developed is very small, and you got to build straight up, and there's just not enough space. And there's 7.5 million, 7.3 million people. And there's a lot of money. I mean, you gotta understand, the gross domestic product here, the average per capita GDP is higher than that of Germany. So on average, it's a more wealthy country than Germany, all squeezed into an area the size of Rhode Island. Hell, not even Rhode Island, the size of Manhattan. So, supply and demand. The salaries are kind of the same as New York or London. It's just you're given a cost of living allowance to offset things. It's very easy to get by with English. Everything in Hong Kong is in English, English and in Chinese. Those are the two official languages of Hong Kong. So all the street signs, all the government documents, the law, the people, they speak English. You can, pretty much 90% of the people on this island will speak enough English to help you out. So I can go to the DJI store and I said, you know, I want that new DJI propeller. And he'll say, what kind? Of the Mavic Pro? Yeah. Okay, it's this. And, you know, so, do you have that? And occasionally there's a few words they might not get. I'm not going to talk to them about, you know, like the metaphysical aspects of Ayn Rand or something like that. But I can get around pretty easily, most stuff you do. Do you and the wife make over $300,000? Probably. It's complicated though, because we get all sorts of different types of income. It's a little confusing. I honestly don't know what our income is. I mean, I'm telling you truthfully, I honestly don't know. I just know I write a big check to the U.S. government every year. Anyway, we're home, guys. Time to go back upstairs, take a shower, and get some food. It's been nice chatting with you, but I need a rest. Please feel free to follow me. We're going to go out and get fish and chips in a minute. Hello? Well, the elevator's going to kill the signal. Especially this one. Okay, guys. See you very soon.